Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys my final recap and final thoughts on Fruits Basket, the final, which is on episode 13 or episode 63 of the over total number of episodes, and my final overall thoughts of the entire Fruits Basket series in general. So if anything else, let's just get this started. The beginning of the episode, it starts off with Toru along with Uo-chan and Hana-chan and Kyo going into a nice zoo-like park, going here, going there, enjoying themselves. And, we have to it after the time that they finished their time at the park, or whatever they were at the end of the day. We have to it that Uo-chan, Hana-chan continues to tease Kyo throughout the very beginning, and then they tell him, hey, take care of Toru, okay? Because she's very valuable to us as she's valuable to you. So don't you dare mess this up or we'll kill you, Well, not in a certain sense, like literally kill you, but don't mess this up, alright? And he says, hey, you got it, etc. We get to see Yuki with, I forgot his name, Maki's brother or something, and she does punch him in the face after there was some comedic moments and them talking with each other. Yuki Ray going to a college that he wants to go to very soon, and I thought it was pretty slick to know that, and everything else all considered, And as the episode continues on, graduation comes by and everyone's moving on with their lives, We get to see, like, Toru and Kyo talking about how they were in this house for a long time, and how time flew by so quick and that it's so sad to see it go. As for Yuki, he ended up giving Maki a key so she could visit him, etc. There was a funny moment here and there where Maki almost lost the key to Yuki. Yuki's like, okay, I just throw this out there. That was so funny as hell. But Maki's like, yeah, I want you to wait for me, okay? I'm gonna catch up very, very soon. As for Kagura and the monkey, the former monkey Zodiac, they end up having some small talk with each other. While Kisa and Hiro do know that they have to say goodbye to Toru and Kyo very soon, and Kisa feels like she has to smile, but Hiro's like, hey, it's okay. Cry if you want to, because after all, she's the one that did all this. And there's a scene with Haru, Momiji, and Rin, talking about all that's happened. Even Momiji's like, how can Kyo take Toru away from me? I'm like, boy, you got a long, long way to go to even think you had Toru in your grasp. To be honest with you, I thought, whatever, it is what it is. But that aside, all things considered here and there, Momiji says, I hope to find myself a good significant other in the future. I'm like, I think it could happen for a Goldilocks boy like you who's always cute and tall. Okay, that's kind of mean for me to say, but yeah. As for Rin, she does talk about Akito, how she cannot forgive her for all she's done, And Haru's like, hey, that's fine. There are some things you don't want to forgive. That's great. It's okay. And as for Uo-chan, she ends up having a phone call with Kurano and says, hey, I'm going to plan to move in with you soon, so you better feed me greatly, okay? I'm thinking about mine, isn't that cute? As for Yuki's older brother, he tells his lover, says, hey, let's make sure we pack up things for them greatly, that kind of thing. As for Hattori, he ends up being hooked up with his former lover's friend, I guess, or should I say a friend that he's been with that he ends up falling in love with eventually, and they end up trying to get an idea of where to go, etc. As for Shigure and Akito, they end up having to live on different turfs for now, or live on somewhere else, and Akito says, I'm not going to see Toru off because I'm going to see her anytime whenever I want to, And Shigure's like, and you're going to drag me along? And he said, and Akito's like, obviously from the get-go, I'm going to drag you everywhere. Yeah. Then we get to see a scene with Yuki and Kyo talking with each other, saying, hey, can I talk to Honda for a bit, privately, if that's not a big deal? And Kyo's like, yeah, she's in the living room, They were at Shigure's house here and there, and Yuki ends up saying, hey, make sure you do your job right. You got that, stupid cat? And Kyo smiles at this and says, I don't need your advice, advice not needed, stupid rat. It's kind of funny, and even though they still insult each other, they are on somewhat better terms than before, after that incident. Then we get to see Yuki talking to Toru Honda about the situation and thanks her for everything and sees her as a mother, And he was glad to have met her and glad things kind of changed a lot. And we have to it that this was very emotional for me when I ended up watching this episode. I had to pause in between because I was not ready to say goodbye to the series at all. Honestly, anyone who's been watching from the very moment it began in 2019 up until now, I'm pretty sure I can't be the only one who was ready to say goodbye to this series. And we have to it that Yuki and Toru end up having their small final talk, and then we get to see a time skip where we get to see Toru's little granddaughter says, "Hey, where's Toru and Kyo?" And one of them says, "Hey, say grandma and grandpa, okay?" And she says, and the little one says, "Hey, I thought I was told that it's okay to say their names, And one of them says, "Hey, they're on the way doing the lovey-dovey walk here and there." And then we get to see an older Toru and older Kyo having to hold hands with each other and go for their walk, and then the credits ends up playing, etc. And that was a freaking emotional way to say a freaking goodbye in a certain way, yeah. So pretty much this episode does show every Zodiac, including Akito, how their lives are moved on and they're trying to live it out, As for Toru and Kyo, they end up having to get ready to go to a new adventure. And as for everyone else, so do they. And I really look forward to see how... It's really sad to see how it's all come to an end right now, Although it was to be expected anyway, it is what it is. It's just really hard for me to say freaking goodbye, Call me crazy Milanakis for saying that, but yeah. Now... this final season, I gotta say, they actually did a nice way of wrapping things up, although I still question what happened to Kyo's father and maybe Akito's mother, but I guess they're not important anyway to the very end. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't care much about them anyway, I guess, since they weren't that great. They were just troublemakers from the start. Well, not too many troublemakers, but Akito's mother, so I don't know what happened to her, but whatever. That aside, it was a fun final season, we get to see more of the drama and how the curse breaks and how Akito learned how to grow up a bit. Now, a lot of people will say we can't forgive her for what she's done. Even though she's starting to grow up and take a good route to growing up a bit, it's still unforgivable for what she's done. There's no denying of that. There's no way, not a lot of people would want to forgive Akito for what she's done. Rin is that example. She says, "I can't forgive her. I won't be able to." And it's understandable. Sometimes there are just people who says like this, "I'm not going to forgive you, man, but it is what it is. What's done is done. We just got to move on, That kind of thing. So, yeah, Akito has been a major antagonist to the very end, from what she was doing from the very beginning up until now. But I guess, it depends. I mean, how she grew up and how she was raised, it really sucked. And many people say it's not an excuse. There's no denying that. There is no excuse. There's no, excuse of what Akito did, but she at least had the courage to grow up and learn how to walk a proper route. Not a lot of people tend to, go on a good route. Reality shows it that way, or they just don't want to. Let's give it some thought on that, So, yeah. Anyways, throughout the entire series of Fruits Basket, I thought it was really fun to know each and every character and how much I enjoy loving them and how much spotlight they always been having, and it's always great. Kyo and Yuki. I have to admit, Kyo's my favorite guy throughout this entire series, man. He's my favorite kind of delinquent guy, the way how he acts. He reminds me of myself if I were to think about my own dark side in a certain way. But that aside, yeah, Kyo's been my favorite guy throughout the Fruits Basket series. I don't know why, but I just love the guy to death, man. I mean, represents at least half or most of what teenage boys would be nowadays in the future. As for Yuki, I like the guy too, but I don't know why I like Kyo much more in a certain sense, but yeah. Toru, obviously she's one of the main heroines throughout the series, obviously from the get-go, changing things around and etc. But yeah. So, I don't know really what to say about the entire series. All I know is it's a nice slice of life lesson learning here and there, but that's what it is from the very start. It is. That's what it was from the very start, up until now, learning about a lot of things, seeing how life goes and how you either step up, step down, progress or regress, how you want to call it, But yeah. All I know is season 1 was just the opening start, and then when it came to season 2, it's starting to reveal more about the Zodiac here and there, and how like Kyo started to develop. Well, a lot of characters start to develop, you know. I don't know what else to say and how to like explain it, but it's just like each and every character has their own problems and issues, but each and every one of them learn to work it out. Although not a lot did have a lot of spotlights, such as the monkey Zodiac and so forth. Maybe not too much for Kagura as well. And then, you know, Rin, you know, Hatsuharu, Yuki, etc. Shigure. That guy has always been the Mr. Puppet Miner Master or something, but he got what he wanted. So, yeah. Nice and nicely done for him. But as for Akito, you know, I mean, she's been, like I said, a major antagonist throughout the very beginning. And then she later on changed a bit, and there are some things that people won't forgive her for, obviously from the get-go. But at least she's taking the right step of direction in a good direction, compared to a lot of people nowadays that would rather like go on a nasty path because they have no choice, or it's the only way out, or they just want to and can't stop. You know, sometimes, you know, yeah. But you know, overall, throughout the entire series of Fruits Basket, I really enjoyed it to the very end. Like I said and say it multiple times throughout much of my recaps here and there. It's nothing special. It's nothing original. It's just a very nice classic for some reason. Something that I will consider and love throughout keep in my heart throughout the entirety of my life, I guess. I mean, like when I look back, when I'm gonna look back on these videos when I'm watching it when I'm very old, I can imagine like how much like how youthful and fun it was when I do these things, you know. Anyways, it's been a long ride. It's been a fun time. I'm really sad that it's over. It's the end, but nothing lasts forever. That's what makes it beautiful. Cry, not because it ended, but because it happened. But you know, yeah. It's been a fun ride, guys. Those guys who've been through it those who watched the Fruits Basket series from the very beginning up until now, I hope you had as much fun as much as I did. As for all the voice actors, I hope you guys did a fantastic, phenomenal job. It's been a good wild ride for 2 years, from 2019 to 2021. It's been a fun ride, you know. I can't wait to like see what other paths and career you'll be going throughout your voice acting career, and hopefully I might hear more of you down the road. Who knows? Hopefully I may recognize you or not, but we'll see. Again, the studio who took on Fruits Basket made it great, you know. Thank you guys so much. You did a great, phenomenal job. What will be my overall score throughout the entire series of Fruits Basket? I'd say 8 to 9 out of 10, you know. I mean, like, I don't know if I should call it 10 out of 10. I don't know what a true masterpiece is, but I really enjoyed it to the very end, from the very beginning to the very end. Hope you guys did too. So, yeah, it's over. It's been a great time. Thank you, thank you so much, Anime Studio. Thank you so much, voice actors, and thank you so much, everybody, to the very beginning to the very end. It's finally over. The journey's done. And now it's time to move on to the summer anime of 2021. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video or so. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I hope you guys, as I said it before and now, enjoyed the series from the very beginning to the very end. So until then, peace out. Bye bye. Toot-toot-toot.